Hey, welcome to the Film Section podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Mark.
Episode 3. We made it 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's gonna like or hate this episode. But we're gonna be talking about a movie by John Carpenter, and it's probably not what you think. It's probably, I don't know if it's probably a medium recognizable title, A Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. So this was my first time ever seeing this movie. I'd never even heard about it since before you mentioned it. And yeah, I could see why. I love John Carpenter, but this was not it. This is just not it.
I feel like people talk about this movie and John Carpenter's catalog the least. I guess I see why.
Yeah, it's so okay. Let's just get into it. The movie was written and directed by John Carpenter, and it came out in, I want to say it was like 1987 or something.
I think it's 87.
And
87, 88.
Yeah, something like that. And the movie stars Donald Pleasance amongst a lot of other people.
A lot of these people are people I've never seen before and never seen again, except for the guys he sticks in there randomly, like Peter Jason. He's like the heavier set guy with the gray hair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dirk Blocker is a name I recognize. He's like the chubby dude with like the male pattern baldness around the top. I recognize his name, and I know I've seen him and stuff. I think it's Victor Wong. I believe he was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay, because I knew that I recognized him, but yeah. I just couldn't think of where though.
Then there's like I don't even remember his name. I know his first name is Brian something. Never seen that guy in anything else.
No.
I guess he fit the motif for John Carpenter movies, where it's like a guy with some shaggy hair and a mustache who just bangs the first woman he sees, like Halloween 3 with Tom Atkins. Fucking legend. He doesn't need to be mentioned here because he's a fucking legend, and we're not talking about legends in this fucking shit.
Well, there is one legend in the movie, and that is Donald Pleasance, who he worked with Carpenter on Halloween and then the subsequent Halloween movies after that. And his character plays a priest who unlocks a sort of satanic thing, and there is a liquid embodiment of Satan that Donald Pleasance brings to Victor Wong's character, and asks him and a bunch of like science students to help figure out what this liquid embodiment of Satan is.
Yo, these guys had top of the line equipment.
Oh yeah,
top of the fucking line. You gotta preface it. I guess the beginning is, a priest dies, and he dies with like a small like chest on his stomach, and it has a key to that room in that church, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then they go in, and he's like, it's some green fucking liquid. It looks like something in the syringe from Reanimator. It's just in this giant tube. It's crazy looking. So yeah, they bring in those they bring in scientists, like different people from all over the field, like microbiologists and stuff like that. That's where we meet the cast of basically no ones.
Yeah. Yeah. And our main protagonist, I don't remember his name, but he had the porno stash. Um, he, yeah,
I just watched this and I don't remember his fucking name.
yeah. Again, aside from Donald Pleasance, who to me is basically playing Samuel Loomis just as a priest, like
Yeah,
that's how he's kind of carrying it.
He put forth his best effort, dude.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
well, not his best effort, but he put forth the same effort as he would in anything that he's in.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that he was bad, but I'm just there's a lot of monologues and talks about evil. Like
Yes.
Samuel Loomis.
Yeah.
But
He shot Satan 6 times. Yes.
even though if you count it's 7, but it's but anyways, yeah. So this cast is just so forgettable, and
yeah,
the main character, the guy with the mustache, is what I'm going to call him. He meets the girl with the red hair, and
I think wasn't her name Susan?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? So we got Mustache and Susan, and they. So it's like a psychology sort of like seminar or whatever at first, right? Like that's what they're talking about a lot is like psychology and stuff. And so they, so Mustache and Susan are talking and they're getting to know each other, and instantly it goes from he kind of offends her because he says something sort of sexist about like women in whatever field that they're doing.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes from that to him saying like, let's start over. Let me take you to dinner. And then the next scene is them in bed. And it's just like, all right, I guess, what happened to dinner?
That's how you get women in the 80s. You offend them first for being women. Then you're like, hey, my bad. Let's try again. Let me take you to dinner. And then right after that, dinner must have been really good.
I guess I kind of want to know what the dinner was. I feel like he would have taken her to like the same restaurant that like Patrick Bateman would have gone to or something. But
it's Red Lobster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just a nice surf and turf.
Yeah, a little surf and turf to get the juices flowing,
Yeah. No, I wasn't alive in the 80s, so maybe that is how it was, but I don't know. That kind of came me off guard.
I have no idea about I didn't know anything about the toxic masculinity of men during the 80s. I was just a wee boy. Just trying to make my way, watching Nightmare on Elm Street on USA when I was like 7 or 8 years old, doing what I could. How do they? I missed it. I think I missed it. But how do they? Does Donald Pleasance call them, or how do they get wrapped up in this?
Well, Donald Pleasance goes to the professor or whatever, and he's like, "I need your help. I have essentially the liquid embodiment of Satan, and I need you guys to help me figure this shit out."
And then the professor is basically like Avengers Assemble.
Kind of, but like he grabbed like a makeshift group of people that range anywhere between like 19 and 42.
Yeah. Were they all in college? Because man, that's
what I thought.
Mustache was like fucking 48.
Yeah, he was old. And Susan was like 22, 23.
That's a thing in the 80s though, is like when they have high school characters or college characters, they're definitely way too old to be in those places.
Oh yeah.
They had sorry, off topic. They had a Joe Bob special last night, and they're playing a couple movies. And the first movie was this exploitation movie called Angel. It was about like a 15-year-old prostitute, and they're hooking, and there's a killer. There's a guy killing the prostitutes, but the girl used her money from hooking to go to like a really nice school. Like, it's fucking crazy. But it's not a very good movie at all. So she's going to high school, and this dude starts hitting on her, and I swear to God, this dude was like 35, but he's portraying a high school guy. So that it is a recurring thing in the 80s is that everybody that's in high school or college looks like they're fucking like pushing 40 for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so Mustache and Susan hook up, and he's like, he says to her, like, you know, who was it that made you like so guarded or whatever? And she was like, I never said it was a person. And then they made out, and then it goes to the next scene where they're all starting to gather together, and their relationship isn't really addressed or anything for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they just had sex, and then like
that was it.
You couldn't tell that like if they were boyfriend and girlfriend. They were just like, it was all business after that.
Yeah, and they were in pretty much like separate rooms the entire time too.
Yeah.
Like it. So I didn't like. Was that just character introductions? Like
the character introductions were people walking in, shaking everybody's hand, and saying their name, which none of their names I really fucking remember. I did like the one guy, the younger Asian guy. That guy was actually pretty awesome.
He was funny. Like he had a couple like good lines and stuff that I was like, okay, this is good.
He was like not taking any of that shit seriously. But even when he had the proof in front of him, he was fucking telling jokes and shit. It was actually pretty funny. I like that guy.
Yeah.
I actually like that guy.
So okay, so after they all kind of get together in it's like a church or something, there's homeless people that start like walking around and just standing in the middle of the street and down dark alleys and stuff.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, Alice Cooper. And the homeless people stuff was like kind of cool. Like it was like visually it looked, cool seeing them. Like, I understood how it's kind of creepy.
That shit where that lady like went up to him and like was like hugging his hand, and then they show the close up of that cup in her hand with like the maggots and shit. Dude, that was those homeless people were like the creepiest part of the movie.
Yeah,
they were great.
There's a scene where one of the people leaves the church or whatever, and he gets like cornered by the homeless people, and they like basically like stab him with like a unicycle almost. And I thought that was cool. That was like a creative kind of kill. So it's before I dog on this movie too much more, there are some good parts about the movie.
Like the way it was shot, some of the visuals, and I mean Donald Pleasance.
Yeah.
I like the atmosphere of the movie.
Yeah, I don't like the camera though. What?
So I thought it looked good, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean it looked good, but it's interesting because whenever I do think of John Carpenter, one of the first things I think of is the opening shot from Halloween. And it just being that super long single shot or single take. And so when I was watching this movie, none of the camera work was really anything like.
It was pretty
yeah. I mean, the lighting and everything was cool, but it was just sort of like I was expecting maybe like the camera just felt very stagnant. Like every scene felt very like, this is it. This is how much the camera is going to move. That's it.
I'm going to say that you see it 3 or 4 times, and the best shot in this movie is when it goes to like looking like VHS, and it shows the doorway of the church with the figure in the middle. Dude, that shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, there are some good parts about the movie, but at the point where the guy gets killed by the unicycle.
Yeah.
I'm only like 30 something minutes into the movie at this.
Is that the guy who like got covered in the cockroaches that we were talking about?
No, it was a little earlier where
Oh
yeah.
Like, oh yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
But it's like I'm only like 30 something minutes into the movie at this point. And it feels like I should be like an hour into it.
Yeah. When it was like, it seemed like it was wrapping up, and I looked at the time, there was still 40 minutes left
Yeah.
in the movie. I was like, man, I thought we're getting to the climax here, but
yeah, it was. And the problem is that it's just for about like the next 30-ish, 40-ish minutes, there's really nothing but talking, and a lot of people just sort of like spitting water at each other.
Yeah. It's a lot of like, what's going on here? And the computers and they're like translating the text through the computer, and it keeps going back and forth from that to people puking water on others, and then them turning into fucking insane people. I thought one of the cool things was that woman that had the bruise and then the symbol on her arm, and that whole scene when that guy was trapped in the closet and she just kept like transforming. That shit was pretty cool too. So this goes on, and different people are becoming like possessed from the because the what it's not Susan, but we'll call her Susan too. The other woman. She goes into the room and gets really close to that liquid embodiment of Satan and gets sprayed right in the face. And then she's the first one, and she passes it. She passes it to a few people in the thing, and then I don't want to say chaos ensues because it's just random scenes of people walking in rooms and puking water on their face.
Yeah, but it's just, it's not scary when you see Susan 2 like walking into we'll say the woman who was said that she looked Asian but I guess wasn't Asian, like in the movie, like in the movie,
one of the like two people in this movie that stood by that window and stared at the homeless people the whole fucking time.
Yeah, so I guess, I don't know, not Asian Susan gets the water spit up on her by Susan 2, and then not Asian Susan becomes possessed with the liquid embodiment of Satan also, which really, it just looks like they're just regurgitating water onto each other's faces.
Yeah, and I think the only difference with these people, aside from the lady that had the bruise and the mark, they just look really sweaty and stressed out.
Yeah, like they just need a good night's rest.
Yeah, they just need to lay down for a minute. But shit, as we saw, everyone that was normal that laid down had a fucking terrible nightmare. And probably the best, like I said earlier, like the best shots in the movie, the best visual in the movie was that like panning over to that doorway. It was fucking, dude, that was fucking awesome. I really liked that little cut. Like,
well, it was also cool that it was like it was like a news report almost, like that's what like it felt like. And so it was like it felt like that's like the second coming almost, or like like the Antichrist, I guess, is like they were kind of referring to it.
Yeah, and we get, then I mean they turn a few people, they figure out what they have to do to stop this, and apparently it's to go through a mirror and go into Nancy's bathtub from Nightmare on Elm Street. The really corny fucking thing about this was that red fucking hand that reaches out to grab that woman and pull her in. That shit was so fucking corny, dude.
Yeah.
So corny.
Yeah. The most of the effects in this movie were just not not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It yeah. So I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm struggling to find more things to say about this movie because it's just
Well, yeah, I was trying to get to the wrap up. Like, so we had that scene where, we go into the fucking black pool, and Susan 1 becomes trapped because they throw the axe at the mirror to,
right.
the effect of being able to reach through. Um, and then it just ends with a shot of that guy having a nightmare about Susan, who, when they show the last scene of that nightmare, the news looked like a news report with the figure in the doorway. It's who pops out with her fucking arms out, and then he wakes up, turns over, is having another nightmare, actually wakes up, and then he looks at his mirror and then starts putting his hand toward it. And once he gets close, oh, Prince of Darkness. That's it.
Yeah. So yeah. So for anyone that was listening that wasn't able to follow what the story is, it's people meet, people go to a church, there's a liquid version of Satan kind of infesting people, and then it just kind of ends. That's sort of the movie.
That's the long and short of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much Prince of Darkness. It's not a complex plot. It's just kind of like, what is this?
Yeah, it's just a lot of talking. I don't mind dialogue in a movie, but like, essentially they were saying different things, but it was all the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every time it was just like it's
like with really long monologues, dude. Just really long talks in different parts of the church.
Yeah. I yeah. I mean, it's the movie's like an hour and 41 minutes, and I was struggling the whole time. I was just like, this movie. I was like, something needs to happen. It's like people need to be like. I understand that. The problem is that it's not even like a character-driven movie,
No, not at all.
Which is
we don't remember any of these characters.
Yeah, so it's like it's a very plot-driven movie, but the problem is that the plot revolves around something about liquid Satan. Yeah.
Basically all these characters are forgettable except for like Donald Pleasance. I don't want to keep calling him the Asian dude, but I don't remember his name. The younger Asian guy, Victor Wong wasn't. I didn't feel like he had a lot of screen time, so. But dude, I love that guy. He's always good, so I don't worry about him. But everyone else, it was just people coming in, shaking hands, and then doing basically nothing. And some of them got water spit on their face.
Yeah, that was it.
It was a shit end. I spent an hour and 41 minutes for that shit end. Stupid.
So
I get what you're going for. Like, I appreciate a good use your imagination now ending. Because your imagination is the worst fucking thing ever. Your imagination can make up anything. It's like when a movie does. It's like when a movie has a scene off camera and you just hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind makes its own fucking conclusions. But I hate this shit where it's like, what's happening? What's happening? Black screen, and nothing's happening.
Yeah, because it is this thing. What?
Unless it's made well.
Well, yeah. Like I was about to say, unless if the entire movie kind of had that ambiguity, I would understand. Or if it was being set up for a sequel, I would understand. There was neither of those. It was a pretty straightforward movie that was just kind of nonsensical.
You think this is where Insidious got their idea for that other dimension thing, or whatever the fuck it's called?
I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of movies and stories and everything where people are going to different dimensions and shit like that.
Shit, man. Did this movie even make money?
It did actually. I don't remember how much. I mean, it made a profit. It had a relatively small budget. Its budget was $3 million, and its box office was like 14.
That's
So I mean,
John
not bad.
Carpenter's not essentially known for making sequels to his movies. Like they kind of had to. He didn't even direct part 2 of Halloween, right? I think
No.
after no, I remember I just watched like a little documentary, and after 3, during 3, he ended his involvement altogether with the
Yeah. Him and Deborah sold the rights to
Mustafa. Yeah. I literally like a last week watched something about it. Yeah.
I've been watching this guy on YouTube that's been doing like these like long breakdowns about the Halloween movies and everything.
Is it like the Marvel something guy?
No, it's like his name is like 616 or something like that. Um, I don't know. He's good. I'll send you the link. His videos are pretty good. But yeah, okay. So, what scale of 1 to 10? What would you rate Prince of Darkness?
I'm gonna give this like a 4.5.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same. I was gonna say like 4.5. It's
Not based on what it looks like. Not based on just based on like there was no care for any of these characters. Nobody like there were a couple people that stood out, but like I said, dude, I just got done watching this movie. I mean, I've seen it before, but like as a refresher, I watched it and I finished it at 6:30, and I can't even tell you these people's names.
yeah. It's a movie that I'm probably not going to watch again.
No, definitely.
It's I don't know. Yeah.
I bought it on 4K. Mourn for me. I mean, I guess the redeeming thing is that same day I had gone to Best Buy like first time in forever for like that day's like Tuesday releases.
Mm-hmm.
And They Live were on 4K on the shelf, and I was like, "Yep, I'll take it." So I guess the redeeming thing is that I have They Live on 4K, which I absolutely adore.
Well, all right. So with that, let's actually just go into our favorite John Carpenter movies and the ones that we like. So I mean, you said They Live. That's one of my favorites. That has probably in my top 5 favorite movie quotes of all time. I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
My favorite quote, like that's like the best quote in the movie, but one of my favorites is when he goes into that convenience store and he's like pulling the glasses down, putting them back up, and he's like, you look fine. Lady, you look like you stuck your head in the cheese dip in 1957. Like, dude, Roddy Piper, fucking legend, R.I.P., man. Like, he wasn't in anything that was going to be an Oscar winner, but like, even if it was like a shit movie, you were going to get a performance out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was shit like Hell Comes to Frogtown, fucking. Then when we got to the 90s, he was just like one of those direct-to-video action guys. But like, even when they were terrible, like he was in it, so it was worth seeing him. Well, I mean, obviously Halloween.
Yeah, I actually just rewatched the original Halloween like last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And it still holds up, man. It goes by fast. The filming is good, the acting is good, it's creepy as all hell still. Like, it still holds up. Now don't get me wrong, I love most of the Halloween movies, like even Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. I like those. But the OG classic Halloween is just
I think I'm one of the few people on Rob Zombie's Halloween that didn't have a problem with like that first half of like sort of a backstory.
I liked it.
I didn't mind that, but that, like, my real problem was the second half of the movie where it was like some half-ass remake of the original. Because by the second half of the movie, like Laurie, you get the Laurie Strode and her friends, and you just don't give a shit. You don't give a shit about them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like, it's like, here's this first half of the film, build it up, and then they're like, okay, let's get to the remake, but let's get it done in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't hate it because I fucking hate part 2.
See, I like part 2. I don't know what it is. And like I understand why people don't like part 2. But there's something about it that for me is like, one, it feels like it definitely feels like Rob Zombie took Halloween and made it his own thing. And two, I don't know, the atmosphere I think is cool. I'm one of the few people that actually likes like the rockabilly songs that they put in the movie.
My favorite part of that movie is the scene where he goes into the hospital, where it's like they show the security guard in the booth and he's watching that like old clip of a song.
Yeah.
I thought that whole scene was done well. I think the only thing I really didn't like in this movie was this whole white horse fucking bullshit and the end kind of like.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, it was a Rob Zombie. Like, he took Halloween, made it his own. Like, the kills were vicious. Homeless Michael Myers making his trek across the fucking wasteland or fucking country, whatever.
Yeah.
And, I didn't mind. I didn't mind any of the stuff. It was just like, then he turned Loomis into some pompous asshole, wrote a book, and I don't know. There were definitely parts of it I liked, but as a whole, I just don't like this movie.
Yeah.
Or I don't like that movie. But anyway, John fucking Carpenter. You mentioned we got into this Halloween tirade.
Yeah. Well. I mean, we got Lords of Salem in a couple weeks, so we can go on a Rob Zombie tangents then.
I actually love that movie.
Nobody
liked it. You said you liked it. Nobody likes that fucking movie for some odd reason. I thought it was pretty great.
Oh, I think it's. I mean, spoiler for that episode, but Lords of Salem is my favorite Rob Zombie movie.
I'm gonna put that
personally. It's my favorite Rob Zombie movie.
I'm gonna put it with Devil's Rejects, the only two Rob Zombie movies I like. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy any of his other ones, but those two are definitely tops.
Yeah.
Lord of Salem, really, like, I saw shit reviews and people shitting all over it before I saw it, and once I saw it, I was actually surprised. I was like, holy fuck, why are people saying this?
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, my next John Carpenter movie that I love is Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness. Such a good movie. So weird, so trippy, so fast paced. Like, that's a movie where like it starts like the first however like 10 minutes or something are a little weird and slow, but then after that it just kicks into like overdrive and gets so strange.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of that George Romero movie, The Dark Half. Just like the subject matter. It's like a book, but I mean, it's not the same, but kind of had that vibe. But it looked really good. I don't even like Sam Neill, but I think he put forth a pretty great performance in this movie.
Oh my god, I just love that movie. Really,
I do like it.
It's, oh my gosh, and I have the Scream Factory Blu-ray of it, and that artwork that they do for it is just awesome.
They knocked that artwork out of the park, man. 90% of the time, they knock that artwork out of the park.
Oh yeah, no, Scream Factory always has the best artwork.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Halloween again very soon.
Yeah, dude, I've been trying to watch, all the Halloween movies. It is taking me a little while because just so many other things kind of. But I started watching Halloween 2, and I don't know, but I can like feel kind of like the frustration in, I think it's Carpenter's, because Carpenter ended up agreeing to like write it, didn't he? I want to say.
So, I mean, he didn't want a sequel.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's how he is for most of his, pretty much any movie he makes. So,
yeah, like I don't know, like watching him too, you can feel kind of the frustration in this movie.
somehow it was still good.
It's still good. I mean, the only Halloween movie that I don't like is probably Halloween 5.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's
that because they tried to do this whole continuity thing and it never went back to that. It was just like, hey, we're ending with Loomis freaking the fuck out because that little girl's gonna become fucking Michelle Myers or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Well, 4, 5, and 6 are known as the Thorn trilogy.
6 is an absolute guilty pleasure for me.
I love 6.
I do like 6.
6 is great.
I'm having a hard time remembering what else this man directed. He did that
Thing.
fucking. Oh my god! How did? Oh, sorry. Fucking masterpiece that absolutely bombed.
Mm-hmm.
No one.
Crazy, yeah. That movie has become such a cult hit. Not even a cult hit at this point. It is just a horror classic now.
Absolutely, and you got. I mean, John Carpenter's worked with Kurt Russell plenty of times. Like they had a lot of people really, really like Big Trouble in Little China. Like,
it's all right.
I see the appeal. I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through, honestly.
I think I did. I think I did once. Like I want to say. I don't know. I want to say I saw it again, like on cable or something, and I just sat down and watched it because I was like, "Oh, this guy did Halloween."
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think. He did the Escape movies, didn't he?
Escape from New York, one of my favorites. Escape from LA, not so much.
No, but Escape from New York is good though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Kurt Russell is just a national treasure.
Yeah, I don't know. Kurt Russell is weird for me actually because he's got I haven't seen very many of his movies.
Sure.
And 2, it's one of the first movies like I remember like watching that I was like, that's Kurt Russell, is Death Proof.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was just kind of a bad introduction to
him. He was pretty great. The movie.
I'm not a fan of Death Proof.
I liked Planet Terror a lot better.
Oh yeah, Planet Terror is awesome.
It was just a ride all the way through. It was great.
Yeah.
Death Proof was for like a niche audience, like the exploitation audience, especially with the way it ended. Like it was definitely for a niche audience. I enjoyed Kurt Russell's performance. Everyone else, not so much. Like Quentin Tarantino clearly has a foot fetish, as evidence of that woman and her feet on the dashboard and all the fucking gratuitous shots of her feet on the dashboard.
And every other movie he's ever made.
Yeah. Definitely a niche movie, but Planet Terror was insane. Fuck else did this man direct? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on John Carpenter movies. Like he did that fucking dumbass movie with Amber Heard. Like it was supposed to be his fucking comeback to the fucking genre, and it was stupid. I can't.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's see what IMDb has.
It had to be like 2011, 2012 or something like that. Oh, you know what John Carpenter was in? And I think he directed a segment, was that movie Body Bags. It was like an anthology that was on Showtime. They recently, a couple years ago, came out with the Blu-ray of it.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, Body Bag, dude, you got to see that. It's actually pretty good. Mark Hamill's in one of the segments, and he plays for the Buffalo Bisons.
Oh, wow. Oh man, you and I are gonna feel dumb
Our audience is just gonna tune out. I know it.
at
Here we
this
go.
point.
Here we go.
Well, so he directed Christine,
Oh, god damn it. Oh.
The Fog.
This is what happens when you don't research
Yeah.
what we're going to talk about. Christine. Amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is the best Stephen King adaptation. The best.
Ooh.
If you say it in any form, we're gonna end this podcast and never do it again.
Not it. Ooh, that's tough. Stand By Me is pretty great.
Okay, Stand By Me is pretty fucking great.
I love 1408.
I've actually never seen that movie.
Really? Oh, you should watch 1408. That's an amazing Stephen King adaptation.
That was my boy John Cusack's, like, he had this little run where he was in fucking like suspense thrillers or horror movies. Like what's that one he was in, Identity? Yeah, that one.
1408 is really good. I mean, you got Shawshank and the Green Mile.
Oh god damn it, son of a bitch. Shawshank Redemption is like my favorite movie of all time.
Well, and you're gonna say that Christine is the best Stephen King adaptation.
Shawshank, then Christine.
Okay.
What else are we blanking on that is gonna lose us fucking listeners?
For John Carpenter?
Yeah, anything? What was that movie? It was the movie called The Call?
Oh, are you talking about the one with Amber Heard?
Yeah.
It was called The Ward.
Yeah, fucking yeah. That's why I don't remember it, because it's a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean Amber Heard.
She's also a piece of shit.
Yeah. Hot take. Amber Heard sucks.
Hot take. She sucks.
He did Ghost of Mars. I've never seen that.
Woo! Sorry, you don't need to. It's okay.
Village of the Damned. I've never seen that.
That's pretty decent, actually. Pretty decent. I think I want to say Christopher Reeves is in that.
In Village of the Damned?
Might be.
Why does Village of the Damned is a remake of a really old black and white movie.
Yeah, like the 60s. Yeah, it was made in the 60s. Like fucking kids.
Yeah. Oh, what's the original movie?
Also Village of the Damned.
It is?
Yeah, it's the same movie. It hasn't been made as many times. It's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Okay, so you were right. Village of the Damned was the final movie done by Christopher Reeve before he got into his accident.
I was gonna say that. I was thinking I feel like that's his last movie before his accident happened.
That's pretty cool. I mean, well, not cool, but like it's cool for the movie trivia.
It is pretty cool that he was in a John Carpenter movie for sure.
Yeah. He did Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I've never even heard of that.
Oh, that's with that has Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah. Not an awful movie, but it's kind of middle of the road.
I don't know. Chevy Chase is weird to me now, after all the Community stuff that I've read about him.
Yeah, he's a special man.
Yeah.
He's very difficult. Let's just say that.
Yeah. He Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh my god.
Which is
actually a pretty good movie. I like that one too.
I think I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but it's been like a long time. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all of his pretty much his IMDb except for Halloween.
It's one of the Assault on Precinct 13 is one of those ones where I like the original and I actually like the remake.
Never seen the remake.
No, it's pretty good. Ethan Hawke, little Larry Fishburne. I'm sorry, Lawrence.
Oh, okay. I like Ethan Hawke. Lawrence Fishburne is pretty good too.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it on the John Carpenter movies, which we fucking sucked at. Please don't stop watching. I mean, we're not experts, clearly, but we do watch a lot of horror. And
We do, yeah. I think this movie just kind of threw me for a loop and was like, man.
We definitely I thought I could go off the cuff on these John Carpenter movies, and clearly I couldn't. Because there were some glaring omissions, but Christine, when you take Christine, man, that brings back, like, I watched that movie a lot, dude. And I really, really, really like that movie.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Oh God, it's so good.
There was I regret not buying it now because it's closed, but by my apartment there was an FYE in the mall, and it's completely gone now. Like, that store is closed down at that mall. And it sucks because Christine, there's like this awesome steelbook for Christine that, like, I was always like, oh well, it's always here, so I'll get it next time. Can't get it now.
The only one that's left is the one in the Walden Gallery Mall.
Yeah, and that is not
great.
Yeah. So I don't know. I need a video store, like, bad.
I tried to go back, man. I started going to Family Video, and
their selection's not that. Wait, but the Family Video by my house is closed, I think.
Oh, it is. They closed them all, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck. So yeah, so I don't know. I need a video store.
The one on Colvin, that's the one I was going to for a while, and then they closed. And then there was one somewhere in Amherst that was open, and I was like, oh cool, I can still go there. And then that one closed. So.
It's all closed. Yeah. So are there any video stores? I mean, I know Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble has some good stuff.
Barnes and Noble is a Criterion store, my guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they also had like, I mean, it's a musical, but In the Heights, they had that. They have they have a pretty decent selection of stuff, but it's all, kind of more like film movies for the most part.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of times they'll do like Arrow, like, video sales and stuff, which are really cool.
Oh yeah, they do that, and they do the Criterion, like, whenever they have
50% off every summer.
Off. That's when I usually grab a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we go there that one?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I bought Blowout, Last Temptation of Christ, and Dead Man.
Oh, Blowout, fucking fantastic. I actually remember I was saying that Bruce Lee said. I actually bought that on the next 50% off sale. I actually have that now, so.
I meant to. I was pissed because Barnes and Noble was doing a 50% off Arrow sale, and I was gonna go because they had Hellraiser 1 and 2, like the Arrow releases, and I don't know, one thing led to another, and I just ended up not going, and I was like,
I mean, the only ones that exist, the only Hellraisers that exist. I actually like 3. I actually don't mind 3 at all.
Some of the Hellraiser movies are kind of guilty pleasures for me. Like the one where it's like a video game and, like, they're in the mansion and everything. Like Hellraiser. That's so, dude, that is Henry Cavill.
You know which one I actually like? The one with Craig Sheffer, where he's like a detective.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the one. I think that was the first direct to video.
Okay, yeah, probably. Have you seen the one with where, like, Pinhead it's obviously a different guy, and he's got like a baby face, but it's like, it's still Pinhead. But
no, whatchamacallit, Doug Bradley kept going on the role until they did that reboot. And what I found out was that they wanted him for the reboot, but they were like, hey, we can only pay you $500.
Oh.
So that's why Doug Bradley hasn't been in, like, I mean, they did 2 of those fucking reboot movies or whatever. And that's why Doug Bradley is not Pinhead anymore, which is really sad.
Yeah, because this guy just looks like
Oh, that's the reboot. That's Hellraiser Revelation.
yeah,
that guy.
he looks so terrible.
Quick fact: Hellraiser Bloodline was the first horror movie I saw in the theaters.
You know, Hellraiser Bloodline wasn't even meant to be a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah,
it was so weird. I was watching Cinema Snob, and he mentioned that where it was a whole other movie, and then scripts just got passed, and it just was like, yeah, let's just kind of squeeze that in here a little bit.
I don't mean to mention them, but Weinstein's did that a lot.
Oh, all the time.
They did that a lot because they were on the verge of losing the property, so they had to just make a movie. It's kind of what they did with that Revelation one and the one after that. They just did them to keep the rights.
Yeah.
And Bloodline is a perfect example of what I thought of that Don't Breathe 2. I felt like it was scripts passed around, and they were like, "Hey, man, put that guy, make it a Don't Breathe movie."
I have not seen Don't Breathe 2. I gotta be honest, I don't really have much interest in it because I'm like, this guy is not a hero. I don't know why he's saving this little girl, but he is not. This man is not a hero.
Yeah, that's one of the things my girlfriend said. She's like, the last movie he had women hostage and was impregnating them with a turkey baster.
Spoilers.
And now we're supposed to believe he's some kind of hero. This dude, first half of the movie is like fucking Rambo. This guy's like 70 and he's doing Rambo shit. I mean, not that, Sylvester Stallone's 70 and he was doing Rambo shit, but he's Rambo.
Yeah.
But the first half of this movie is like Rambo, and I'm like, why are you trying to make me like this dude?
Well, I mean, it starts Don't Breathe starts off kind of cool. It's like what's that other movie that everyone kept saying it's basically a ripoff of? It's some other home invasion movie where the burglars are the ones that are actually like the ones in trouble, and the homeowners are like actually the ones that are badass. But anyways, so
are you talking about People Under the Stairs?
No.
There's so many.
But anyways, so the first part of the movie is cool, where Stephen Lang is going around kicking ass and stuff. But then when we get to the basement, and as you said, we see the girl who he's been using a turkey baster on there's no redeemable quality to this man. You cannot fix this movie for me. So the sequel,
I paid to see the sequel.
I just couldn't. I was like, no, because if he is anything other than the bad guy, I am not okay. And the fact that I'm just like, he's with a little girl. There's the little girl's mom is okay with this. Is that his little girl? I don't even want to know.
Well, it's pretty convoluted.
It seems like it.
They just opened the movie with a fire happened and he found this little girl in the middle of the street. And then during the movie, he apparently tricked her into thinking that she was his daughter. Because then the home invasion storyline is that this dad is like a fucking junkie and he gets out of prison and he's just a fucking criminal and he goes to the guy's house and then you find out in the middle of the movie that it's that guy's daughter, not Stephen Lang's daughter. And it just goes off the rails, dude. Like it becomes then you find out the dad was already a bad person and then they make him just worse. So it's like they were trying to make this guy extra bad because they want you to forget that Stephen Lang was a piece of shit in this movie. Like, it's very fucked.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No, we went so far off. We're talking about Don't Fucking Breathe. What do we? Have you watched anything lately? We're in the Halloween season, so aside from what we watch for this thing,
I'm trying to think if there's any. I mean, well, as I told you before we recorded, I just watched the season finale of Ted Lasso 2, and it was amazing. Movie wise, not really. Honestly, I've kind of been, just been working on the book for Halloween for the Halloween season.
Absolutely.
What about you? You were saying that you started watching Midnight Mass.
I started watching Midnight Mass, and it's pretty great. After that, I don't even, what was the name of that last fucking show that it was like Bly Manor. Yeah, after that I was really hoping for a Mike Flanagan comeback, and yeah, this is it.
Well, dude. Mike Flanagan they just announced that he's going to be doing the Fall of the House of Usher, the Edgar Allan Poe story.
Yeah,
he's going to be doing a Netflix adaptation for that, so that's going to be awesome.
All right, okay. Movie wise, I really watched VHS 94. Last night was a Joe Bob special, so the first movie wasn't anything. It was just an exploitation movie for some reason on the Halloween special. The second movie was Terror Train, so I watched that, which it was passable. Like, I never really liked it all that much.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Well, so next week we're talking about The House is October Built.
Yeah.
Which that movie I'm going to have a lot to say about, because that is still my number one favorite found footage movie. I love that movie so much.
It's good. How about that sequel, huh?
I even like the sequel. It's not nearly as good, but I even like the sequel.
I watched it. I like it, just not as much as the first one. The first one was really, really good.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to talk about a movie we like next week. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and it's such a good movie. So
for sure. We gotta end this streak. We gotta end this streak of like middle of the road to bad movies. That.
Oh yeah,
my bad.
Hey, it's still John Carpenter, so there's no problem with that. It's John Carpenter. Yeah. So, how do you want to end this?
Well, this is the Film Section podcast, and we're out. We'll see you next time. Please like this video. Please come to the Twitter page, twitter.com/thefilmsection. Follow us, comment. I want to hear feedback, man. I love feedback, and I'd really like to have some on our cast. Let us know if we're doing shit wrong. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know how you felt about the movies.
All right.
Till next week, we're out of here.
All right. Bye.